Guess who's home? Finally, something to do. Okay, so coming off the tow truck, you can see on the tow truck there's a bit of fluid, but as it rolled back, it was dropping more coolant, and it's definitely the pink coolant. It's very obvious. It's not the transmission. We would know if it was gear oil because that stuff smells horrible. So that raises a couple more questions about the Challenger to me. Like, was it a coolant tank break? Was it piping break, which we've had happen before due to acceleration? Was it a head gasket and moving it dropped some more coolant, which I find kind of hard? Is it a popped block? But if it's a popped block, there would also be oil.
Get in the garage.
I'm confused. Fucking Corona Kai's in the house. So as you guys saw in the intro of the video, Valkyrie's back home. Boom. And well, I might have lied to you guys, and we're gonna figure that out today, because when everything went down, we just went with the shop's diagnosis of, oh my God, head stud. Now do we really?
Well, so what Alex said was when they were taking it off of the record that coolant was flowing out. So, and there's no coolant whatsoever in the reservoir. Nope. So, unfortunately, I have to say that it doesn't sound like any kind of head gasket, stretched head studs, or anything like that.
You say unfortunately, like that shit ain't gonna save me a fuckload of money.
It ain't gonna save you no fuckload of money. We're still doing the car the way we want to. So shut the fuck up. So, but anyway, so because you will not have a coolant leak to where you see it coming out from the car unless it is extremely screwed up. Your block's screwed up.
Yeah, there'd have to be a hole in the block.
There's a lot of different things that'll make that, but not stretched head studs, not a blown head gasket. If it's a blown head gasket, you're gonna have milky oil.
Whoa, wait, hold there. Grab that. Pull that. Come on, you know how this works.
I do know how to.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, how milky is that oil?
It is so milky. Oh no, wait, that's just.
Oh, you won't, no balls. $100 you won't do it. I was like, he's thinking about it.
He's thinking about it.
But legitimately, looking at that, how did that oil look?
The oil looked completely fine. It's not always 100% that you'll have that if you have a blown head gasket, but it's one of the major signs. Yeah. So we've got a couple of tests we're gonna do. We're gonna do a
before you dive into,
cool.
The thing that he's getting at is that is a sign of cross contamination. That's a sign of coolant getting into the oil, and if it does that, it usually turns into like a white goopy substance, or it really makes this oily, not oily, milky. And it also depends on your fuel type. So we're still running pump 93, which it would give off that milky effect. The big one is if you had a head gasket break and you were on E85, that's not a great time to clean up.
No. So, and the issue is once your head stud moves a little bit, you're going to have area. So there's oil pathways and coolant pathways through there. So if it's a blown head gasket, you can have it where it's blown and you're not having the oil and the water issue, but it's not always the case. So with this issue though, is if those head studs are stretched, then you've got area where that whole thing is going to be stretched out. So you're going to have all kinds of cross-contamination throughout the whole system, and that just isn't.
That's not what we're seeing. That's not what's prevalent right now.
Not at all. And he said that it was running fine when they pulled up. That is not a
sign of a head gasket.
A sign of a head gasket.
Again, any kind of differentiation there of pressure, because that's what it is. It's holding pressure. It's keeping everything in the correct compression ratios. If it was getting more air in, the car would be running rougher, and we would be able to audibly hear that.
You would actually hear it running real rough, because especially with the stretch head studs, you have less compression, and not only that, it's actually going to shoot
you're going to
out.
Combustion.
You know, you're actually having it shoot out. So that might not be the case. But what we're gonna do a couple of things today. We'll get into that here in a little bit. But you know, we're gonna play with Valkyrie a little bit. Maybe you know you'll hear her moan some. You never know. But the good moan. Oh.
We just gotta find that spot and just. So
I think it's right here.
Wow.
It's
So
been a while, so.
Wow. So we're gonna go ahead and dive in here, and we'll update you as things go on. But I'm pretty sure the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna start diagnosing things. And it'd be funny to find something without even taking anything apart. We're still gonna be taking shit apart today.
Yeah, we're going to. We're gonna do. We're gonna check. Okay, so the biggest issue. Anytime you have a head gasket leak or you know anything like that, and you're gonna worry about issues with the coolant going into your cylinder walls, or you know into your cylinder. So you don't really want to just start cranking over it, because if you start cranking, you're going to end up getting a water lock or
hydro lock.
So
bad day, very bad day.
Water goes into your cylinder when it goes compressed. Liquids do not compress.
Yeah.
Pop go to weeda, could a weeda go pop. So you're looking at, then you'd be looking at on the compression side of it, you're probably going to bend a rod, break a rod, piston. So you don't really want to do that.
Yeah.
So we're going to go through, and I'm going to tell you a couple of different ways that you can diagnose to make sure that you do not have any extra liquid in your cylinders that you're not supposed to have. And with that, I'm going to go get my Jeep because I got tools.
Boom. And some Corona.
Corona.
Today's teardown is brought to you in part by
Coronavirus.
What? Whoa. No, Corona beer was not saying coronavirus. Negative ass. Jesus.
It's true.
What are you discovering, buddy? Anything making you look a little strange already?
Yes, for instance, we popped the hood and it's a fucking V6.
Yeah, Scat Pack owners hate that.
Oh, never mind. So, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take everything off that I need to in order to actually get to the spark plugs. And the reason we're going to do that is we're going to check the cylinders to make sure there's no fluid in them, so that way we don't have to worry about hydro lock,
which would suck.
Yeah. So you know,
and it would also bend a rod.
And
fuck up the block.
Unless your rod's already bent.
Hey! You shut the fuck up when you're talking to me.
Not that rod. You know, some rods are like that, some rods are like that.
I don't have to worry about that.
See what you did?
See what I did?
So we're gonna start tearing down. It's gonna boost piping is gonna have to come off, upper and lower intake, and then we're gonna pull the coils. Just the upper?
Just the upper, lower.
Oh yeah, you're right. But boost piping's coming off, and then we're gonna pull out the ripp ignition coils, and then pull the plugs. And one of the good telltale signs is gonna be if we have a foul plug right out the gate, because any kind of fluid in there is gonna fuck with the point of the spark plug. And
then you're also going to have, you know, a very, very sweet smell, because when coolant burns, it's a very sweet smell, and it's very indicative then you're having, your combustion chamber is actually burning.
I wish we had an endoscope.
I know, I thought about it. But this works just as fine, you know, so.
Hey, sure will, boo-boo, I'm just living in it. Let's get it.
All
right, so upper intake's off. We've already started pulling ignition coils. We open this up. And in one of the cylinders, we spotted a minute bit of water. And the plugs are they're not fouled, they still are working, they're a little burnt. So it'd be like not smart to not put new coils or plugs in. But what are you about to do now, Eric?
I am going to do a cylinder leakage test.
Okay, what does that mean?
It means
Spell it out for the people.
Spell it out. Okay, so it's C-Y-L-I-N. Just kidding. No, I'm not really. So what this is going to do is we're going to first you make sure you find the correct thread so that so it'll actually go on your spark plug, and that's exactly where it's going to end up being like that. So this comes up to your leakage test, and it will go in like so.
Okay.
And it'll tell you the pressure of your cylinder and the pressure that you've got coming in here. So once you take this off, the pressure will go up. You plug it in, you adjust your pressure, this pressure will go up, and then you let it wait. and then this pressure will go down or stay where it is, and if it stays where it is, then you don't have a leak.
Even though we've already kind of spotted some fluid in there.
Now there's fluid in there. Now granted, honestly, we can't say, it doesn't smell like gas. It's been sitting for quite some time.
It didn't really smell like coolant either though.
Exactly. It didn't have the sweet smell to it. It is more of a clear liquid. So, you know, we can't say that it is coolant. We can't say that it is fuel. Because remember,
it could be fuel because it is direct.
Exactly.
I didn't think about that.
See,
I was over here getting like, oh, fuck, man. When it really could be fuel that was waiting to be combusted at the time the engine was turned off.
Exactly. So, there you go.
Race car shit. Woo! Learning has occurred.
Learning has occurred.
All right, so we're going to fuck with this now and see what we can make happen. As soon as he gets everything dialed in and pressure-wise, we'll put the camera on it and pray. Professional flashlight holder at your service.
Yep. I spent extra money. So.
Well.
Alright, so we got our cylinder leak test going on. You know, it's coming out of the cylinder, coming in here, and then your air pressure line, so.
Yeah. So that pressure's escaping into the cooling system. Which means what, Eric?
Means we have a major malfunction. So the cylinder said, and went boo. So yeah, so it's head gasket, or it actually is what they said it was, the actual head studs come off.
Well, it's probably the head gasket and head studs, because
probably both, but at this point that really doesn't matter because both are going to get replaced anyway.
Yeah.
So the only issue is that now we know we're not going to start the car. It's pretty much at the point of where we're going to be like, because that's it.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing else to do. Except listen to the beautiful gurgling sounds of coolant.
Tight.
Yeah, because see, I mean here, and see, even if you didn't have that, see, I've got 30 psi here.
Yeah, the grease pressures are completely different.
And then your pressure over here.
Yep.
So.
Well, fluck. But you were the smart man to figure out to do that before we start the motherfucker.
Yeah, because, you know, I mean, anytime you really, you know, anytime you've got to worry about anything like that, you want to double check, make sure, because, you know, you really don't want to have, and of course, in this case, you wouldn't have had the rod bent because it would have just shot it out through the thing anyway. Now.
Yeah, probably.
Now also, if it's already been running, you don't have to, and you know, if it's actually still running and you think it is a head gasket, then there is this beautiful little test here. It's called a block test.
Yep.
So
what they want you to do is you'll actually evacuate or pull out turkey baster. I don't give a damn. A little bit of coolant out of there. You will place this guy, which looks like a, you know, in there, make a little bit of a seal with it. That's why it's fucking rubber. And you fill that up to the fill line, which is right there, and then you pump air into it.
While the car is running, you're pulling the air out of the coolant system, coming through here, and
if this turns yellow, it's showing emissions gases coming through the cooling system, which is indicative also a bad head gasket.
Yep. But
sweet,
you know, since I really, and then see if that's the case, now there's a lot of people out there that will be, okay, well now which cylinder is it? Which side is it? Because they want to go the easier way. Well, on this, there's no easier way because you've got to take the complete front of it off anyway. But in my opinion, you never do the easy way. If you replace one head gasket, you replace the other. That's just the way it is.
I just think it would be stupid on a performance build like this because eventually that other side that you wouldn't replace is going to go.
And I don't care performance, everyday driver, whatever it is. If it's something that's actually going to wear, that they say, hey, at this many miles replace, or check it out, just replace it if you're in there, because that's going to save you X amount of dollars down the road. Yep. Just like if we would have got this fixed, you know, $3,000. Well, that would have been the head studs, head gaskets, and then that's it. That would have been the timing chain, the guards, the tensioners, and then going down the road, if the timing chain breaks, well shit, you just spent $3,000 to get that fixed, and the handle right there, and now you're another $3,000 into it again.
Yep.
So
literally all it is going to be right now, because obviously we have some talking to do about other things.
yeah, this is just...
So far, what would be needed is studs, gaskets. Do you think the heads need resurfaced?
Nah, well that is actually going to depend on once we take the head off. More than likely it's not going to. But, you know, that's...
We're going to need the timing chain, the guides, the gaskets that go along with that. And I mean, we could put it back together there.
Yeah.
But we have some talking to do, and you know, this engine, there's a pretty good chance it might be coming out.
Yep. I don't know. You know, there's absolutely nothing really else to do.
The one thing that I was hearing we may want to do is pull the heads and make sure that the cylinders come all the way up to their full stroke, just to make sure there's nothing bent.
Well, of course, you know, that's something that we will do once we get to a point of figuring out exactly how far we're going to go.
Yeah.
And then that way, you know, we can actually decide. I mean, we can pull it all. The problem is we pull it all apart now, then you've got all these fucking pieces laying around, and you don't know what the fuck's going on anyway.
True. So what you're saying is we need Ziploc bags.
Ziploc bags, videos, hose.
Oh, wait, hey, got the video.
Cocaine.
Hose and cocaine. Wow.
Boats and hose. Boats and hose and cocaine.
Did we move to Miami and I didn't realize it?
It's about to be summer.
It's humid enough in Miami.
It is humid enough for Miami.
So, yeah. In other words, she's she got to be caressed a little bit more.
Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and disconnect the battery too.
Yeah.
No point going in and drain down the battery.
Yeah. So just a little shit.
No, there it is, guys. We have discovered and confirmed now it is the head gasket. Shit happens when you party naked. So there it is. We're gonna get some parts in and
when
then
you cook naked too. Don't do hamburger meat when you're naked because the splatter just really does.
What about
fucking
bacon?
hurt. That's acceptable because then when girls just it's
big girl.
It smells. It still smells.
Big girl.
It still smells like bacon. They love it.
Ooh, god damn. Like, share, subscribe, all that in between. When we get some parts in, we'll be back. Stay savage.